Crime is devastating. People don't realize, they watch TV and they watch the lawyer dramas and the crime dramas, and they lose sight, I think, of the true cost of crime.
The cost of crime is so many layers of people feeling a loss of trust or a loss of sense of safety.
It doesn't just impact one person. It impacts their family, their household, their school, their community.
It's a much worse outcome to say that a crime happened and we get justice for the victim. The right approach is to look at the cost of crime and see if we can prevent it.
The CPU stands for Crime Prevention Unit, and the mission of the unit is pretty much in the title. It started in 2015, so we're just past the 10-year anniversary of the creation of this unit when Mike Hestrin was elected DA. The sole purpose was to focus on youth, crime prevention, preventing, the youth of the county from entering the criminal justice system.
Young people don't start out as hardened criminals. There's a process that people go through in becoming a criminal. We don't think about criminals in that way, but there is an education that they get. They start out as petty criminals. They start out using drugs. They start committing petty thefts, crimes, vandalisms. Those are all signs that young person, and very often we're talking about really young people, are on a path towards ending up in prison. So my thought was, let's create a unit, call it the Crime Prevention Unit, where we try to intervene in that process.
There are statistics that show that if a child or a student is not reading at or performing at grade level by third grade, they may not graduate from high school. 82% of those individuals incarcerated do not have a high school diploma, so those two statistics are directly correlated with one another.
The youth who typically go to school and attend regularly are more likely to have positive peer relationships. They're more likely to get along with adults in their lives. They're more likely to be able to read in the future, write in the future. Those are all things they need to be a successful adult. The kids who don't participate or don't attend school look to get their needs met elsewhere. They're out looking for food, or they're looking for money, or they're looking for a way to spend their time. And oftentimes, those are filled with things like vandalism or burglary. And we don't want kids to participate in that delinquent behavior.
We started 10 years ago. It grew and grew and grew. And then we had a big change when we partnered with Division of Victim Services.
So when it was first founded, it was all attorneys, and attorneys were going out to the community and doing presentations and doing outreach. Division of Victim Services and Safe Family Justice Centers got involved to sort of provide those wraparound services to the youth that we're interacting with.
We were able then to give greater presentations where we had clinicians involved, right? Because at some point, the lawyers are out of their lane when they're talking about certain topics with youth.
So we are out at the schools, we run a number of programs, and we want to show kids that there's a way that they can grow up and have a number of careers, and maybe it's something they're not familiar with.
In Riverside County, we're tough, but we're also fair. When you come into the courtroom in our county, having committed a serious crime, you're going to get the tough part. I'm sorry, I understand you had a tough childhood. It's too late, because now you're going to be held accountable for this crime. However, if you're going to have that approach, I felt it was fair to go back and reach out to the youth before they're at that point where they're in a courtroom facing a prosecutor, facing many years in prison because they've committed a serious crime.
We need to sometimes, as educators and just as adults, take a step back and say, hey, you know what? Maybe we are that one person in that person's life that they need.
Everyone's heard stories of someone who's successful, who says, I was going down the wrong path, and then I had this football coach or this art teacher that really took an interest in me, and it changed my life.
And I think it's just an opportunity, at least for me personally, to be in a community that I grew up in, I continue to live in, to be able to give back, to be able to interact.
Society is the beneficiary of this. I mean, obviously the individual is too, but we benefit as a community, as a society as well.